I'm the Chris who plays games, and this is your CPG rant of the evening. No matter what the field, I find that when experts offer advice to users, they tend to ignore the simplest solutions, even as stepping stones to greater success. This isn't done out of malice or spite, at least I don't think it's done out of malice or spite, but instead simply out of a sense of wanting to encourage people to create the best possible product and forgetting that without using stepping stones, sometimes that product isn't created at all. You can think about this in many different ways. You can think about it in video editors or in streaming software. You can think about it in hardware, in webcams, and microphones, and other things like that. So almost every person has a video editor on their computer, or a low-cost option to get one. Whether it's Windows Movie Maker on your Windows computer or iMovie on your Mac, these video editing programs are practically ubiquitous. While iMovie is now $15, this pales in comparison to the price of most commonly, alternative suggested, which typically cost hundreds of dollars. Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere, and all these other things. And so to suggest these to the average person getting started in a field is actually somewhat disingenuous. It puts them in a position where they think that this is the thing they have to go for if you skip over these low cost options. But even tutorials getting started just ignore the importance of making use of the tools you can get. I've been creating various videos on YouTube for years now. I've been creating my drone videos, like I created a video that got 5 million views, and I did it all with iMovie. I started editing these videos in 2014, and I haven't used anything other than iMovie until the last few days when I started using Windows Movie Maker. And some of these videos are somewhat poor specimens, and certainly I can look at lots of videos now and say, oh, that's an iMovie template, or oh, that's a Windows Movie Maker template, or whatever else like that. Some of these videos have gained thousands of views, some of them have gained millions of views, and if I had waited to purchase Final Cut Pro or Sony Vegas or what have you, I would never have made them in the first place. And when you look at streaming, it's a very similar thing. Many people will say, well, XSplit is much better than OBS. OBS is clunky and difficult to use and everything else like that. But you kind of fail to take into account that XSplit costs $15 a month and OBS is free. And so to advise someone to use XSplit over OBS, you have to take into account that you're raising that bar for them. You're saying this is the lower bar. And people do this all the time with microphones and webcams and other things like that too. For the first 9 months I streamed on YouTube, I streamed on a 2-year-old MacBook Air laptop using the built-in camera and the built-in mic and a cheap pair of headphones. I played retro games, and I could not play the latest Tomb Raider, I could not play Outlast, I could not play other things like that. But by doing that, I was able to build up a stream, build up an audience, build up a community around my content, and figure out what I wanted to do, and if I even liked it, without investing a dime. I used a laptop I already had. And my advice to people is to find a way to do that. Another thing that people can do is use a PS4. PS4 has built-in streaming to the internet. You can stream from the PS4, and even if you don't have a camera or a mic or anything else like that, you can chat with people on the computer as you play and figure out if you actually are enjoying streaming on YouTube. Whether you have the skill, the desire, anything else like that, before you invest $200 in a capture card, before you invest $1,500 in a PC, before you invest all these things. Not almost everybody, many people, not necessarily in the US, but worldwide, 80% of people have an Android phone that can also broadcast to YouTube via the YouTube gaming app. It's actually probably like 60% because you have to have the latest version, blah, blah, blah. But 60% of people worldwide probably have the ability to broadcast a game on their phone to YouTube gaming with no additional hardware at all. You just push a button on your phone and upload it straight from your phone. The YouTube gaming app has supported it since day one, since like the 1.1 back in October. And people can do this. And it has like support. It uses the built-in mic and camera and everything else like that. You can interact with people. It pops up the chat. I've done it to play Pokemon Go, and it's a really cool interface and experience, and it doesn't require any additional investment. And so to turn people away from these options because they don't have the highest quality camera or because the sound quality isn't the best or anything else like that is just bad for people. It's bad for users. My favorite video that I made is a video that I made over Kichi Gorge. It's nothing complex, it's just a series of edited shots put together in a compelling way. The end result includes titles, music, cuts, and some fixed color on some of the darker shots. It probably took me about 2 hours to put together, and there was no point where I felt like I was missing out on a lack of an expensive toolset, especially given that my limited experience with such tools suggests that they're overwhelming and difficult to learn by comparison. It's just a fun video, and iMovie did everything I needed, probably in less time than it would have taken me even after a month to do in comparable software. So the next time you're advising someone entirely new to a space on what they need, whether it's a camera, a microphone, or anything else like that, pick the low end first. Target the low end first. Target the low end mic. Target the thing that's built in. Target the thing they already have. Try and get it to where the minimum investment is the minimum investment. Offer free tools, offer free trials, offer other things like that. Don't advise stealing, because that's not a good idea either, but try and get people to understand the tools that they have that they can make use of, whether it's the Android phone in their pocket, the PS4 on their desk, or the older laptop that they have that they don't think they can stream from. Encourage them to look at things in a different way and not think that you can only do it if you have a $1,700 DSLR and a microphone plugged into an XLR with a lapel mic and multi-dimensional lighting and a green screen, right? Find a spot in your house, which is kind of interesting, like my set of books here, right? Like I can pull out a book right now and start reading to you out of it. And that's something that I wouldn't be able to kind of get in the mood of if I had a green screen. And so by doing that, I have this conversation piece. And some people are like, well, what is the Quaker Reader? And so I could talk about the Quaker Reader, or I could talk about the puzzles over my left shoulder, or the business cards in these boxes, right? I can turn the things that would generally be kind of looked down upon into an area of success and interest and growth. And so, yeah, at some point you will want better tools, right? I invested in a gaming PC once I made enough money from donations from the stream to turn that around and do something useful with it and create a gaming PC out of it. I was able to buy, my microphone was a Christmas gift I got after streaming for 3 months. The camera was also a Christmas gift. Like, I invest in these things, don't get me wrong. But I did it after I figured out whether it was something that I wanted to do. And it was something that I could figure out that I wanted to do using the tools I already had. And that's the best thing you should try and do. I'm the Trix Who Plays Games. This has been your CPG Rant of the evening. Thank you so much. And feel free to check out some of the other CPG Rants on the channel. I've got CPG Rants from all over the place, talking about YouTube versus Twitch, talking about, ad monetization and revenue, talking about, what fact that I'm a Russian propagandist. Check them out. Have a good time. Thanks a lot.